Like, is that enough here against like a hero like Timbersaw that if there's not enough lockdown, just kind of finds itself in a position where, okay, I get to do whatever I want. I guess we'll figure it out. The matchups are going to be nice. I like both drafts. Truthfully, I'm kind of excited for this game. Like, there hasn't been many games where I'm like, okay, we come into the draft 50-50. So many drafts I feel like we're seeing teams have been out drafted right at the get-go, but I don't know. I don't know if you agree with me on this one, but it feels pretty like 50-50, 55-45.
I'd say Piggy Killer Draft is much more difficult to execute compared to what Azuri have in the game. Because they can, like, they might not have this early damage to go through Morphlings and Timber's tankiness, but they're looking to play with like 2-item timing, I would say. 2 items on Storm, 2.5, 3 items on Naga Siren, and you're gonna be good to go.
Okay.
30 seconds to battle.
We'll see if that ends up being the case. 2-item timing.
Talking about 2-item timing when they start to put like more pressure on the map, and they also don't have any kind of cooldowns. It's not a big. There's a big one. There's global silence, but other than that, they can also like keep fighting. But it's also a big tool that they bring into a team fight. FY, let's have Iron Shell on him.
The battle
I think you meant 2-item time. You know, wands, treads, and then you just win the game.
Yeah, 2 branches ready to go. Call it.
Wouldn't you know what I'm, joking about?
Yeah.
When you're right on it. Just 6 a.m. in the morning for you.
6 slotted heroes already. FY on Spirit Breaker has that Observer Ward, then gonna be 5 slotted.
Oh no. He might be 4 slotted if he uses that Blood Grenade early. Mid-matchup always exciting. I feel like XM, to me, he was always one of those mids that was like on the cusp of being great.
Yeah, this is why he called himself XM, excellent mid. Had some really good performances, and he's like, yeah, I gotta change my nickname. But should be Storm Spirit's favorite. He's gonna be the one putting the pressure. We all know Somnus Storm Spirit. It's been a staple in the Chinese region, I would say, for a decade.
Yeah, a very long time. Just one of these days he'll go back to being known as Maybe.
And that was a different player.
Everybody's got to change their in-game name, right? Like Paparazzi, he was then he went to Paparazzi, then he went to Eurus, now he's back to Paparazzi. Like, I'm waiting for the Somnus era when he goes back to being into the Maybe era. That's when you know he's back.
Maybe he'll do it. Maybe he won't. We'll have to see.
Yep. We'll have to see. FY dragging this creep wave and sitting a little bit low. Not a hero that you think of when you think FY, but I'm always excited to see him pull something a little bit new out of the hat.
Not the hero that it's not a skill shot hero. You're like charge, do. You go in, pray that you're gonna get some bashes in, and that's about it. It's not like you can really style on them with Spirit Breaker.
Did you learn that from American Baseball? The charge song that you just did?
Oh, you guys trying to say everything's American?
No, but
no, I don't think I've ever watched baseball. That's one of my dreams, to go to a baseball game for some reason, even though I don't even know the rules. But
if you come to New York, I will buy us tickets.
Okay, and a hat and a hot dog. Promise me.
I will. I'll buy you a hot dog
and a drink.
I'll get you a pretzel,
jersey,
whatever you want to drink. Jersey that might be a little bit too far,
but already.
I'm in for it.
Okay,
God.
We'll have this on
stream. And we'll make content. Okay, it'll be great.
Let's now focus on the game. Game's a bit slower, 3 minutes in. Now people are going to pick up these Lotuses from Lotus Pool.
Radiant's Courier
One's going to be available on Ava. Going into Vanguard. Both laners do have that item queued up, so going to be very tanky, difficult to kill. This type of a slower game does benefit Azure Ray, because Darkseer Spirit Breaker, all these heroes kind of need levels. Your Naga Siren, the only hero who wants to make some early ganks going, is definitely Storm Spirit, so we'll see Somnus being more active. It's going to be very important to control the runes for him. So for mostly like 6 minutes, there's going to be 5 or 6 heroes in this mid lane.
Yeah, we'll have to see who moves over.
Somnus dominating this mid matchup. Didn't know it's going to be
22-6, wow.
this bad.
Every
He
coin helps.
plays his heart out for every single creep. As we could say in pubs, when someone does this, it's called try-harding. You start all chatting, start harassing them because they're doing better than you.
Yeah, you
Your
try to get
ego
under
can't
his
take
skin.
it. I said 6 minutes.
Blood grenade?
Somnus, double blood grenade.
Yeah, he might be in trouble, but the double blood grenade onto Frisk, he's low. But
Nice
he'll
remnant.
finally die there to the Pugna and Exam. He's got the Resonant Pulse shield, and then dissimulates away. So it ends up being a 1-for-1, but not one you want to be giving up when Somnus ends up dying for the first blood. And the first blood went the way of Mercy, showing him none of it.
No points in Glaives of Wisdom. Love to see it early on. I'd say on level 4, you kind of start to playing again.
Surging away, but wants to Dyna neutral and couldn't get it. Arcane Curse was the tick that got him.
Mercy, 2-0. It's going to make some stacks. You're going to be able to stack that second camp because Chalice blocked it before he died. So he's that lane.
Charge and the dissimulate. Yep. Get now. Resident Pulse early at the level 3, so good physical barrier to make sure that he's pretty much okay in this lane. And what was a domination has now kind of, you know, sat itself pretty close. Top lane charge on Fly, who's shifted pretty heavy in the Agi.
Always gives me anxiety seeing Fly low on Morphling.
Yeah, anytime it gets about under 200 health, I'm a little concerned.
Look at that Vanguard timing at the same time. 5 minutes, 45 seconds. Block killing this Timbersaw. Like, because they're keeping mid lane busy, they know where the real threat's coming from. So Somnus, like after that first death, he's forced to go back, which is pretty big. Piggy Killer's doing a really good job.
Piggy Killer, as much as I think they're getting a lot of flack for being 2-4 this season and not making it to the major, this is a group of...
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You just stop. Stop to see how much HP he has.
Yeah, yeah. I had to take a look.
I didn't see it. I didn't think he was gonna die, but I guess they backed him.
Radiant structures
He's
are
very high on
fortified.
the Agi if you look at
Dire's
his
top tower is under attack.
hero right now. Yeah, you know, this is a team of players who I think...
No, Somnus again on this mid lane. He's level
he's
5.
in trouble.
Dire's structures
Silence
are
Arcane
fortified.
Curse. He's got another step. Maybe he gets a kill here on Mercy, but with that Astral Step, Somnus is going to die. And to finish my point, finally, I would say is,
Radiant's
you know, Piggy
middle
Killer is
tower is
a
under
team of
attack.
a bunch of veterans.
To the ground, run you
These are
down.
two teams that I think are in similar positions, right? In
Radiant's
we're
middle
veterans,
tower
we're
is
putting a
under
squad
attack.
together. Can we do what many think might be
Yeah, it's just they
improbable?
changed names, so maybe people who don't follow the scene as much, they're like, who are these guys? This is Fade we're talking about.
Yeah, you got guys like Mercy, who, you know, before was on Magma, went as Mian Mian. I used to love calling him Mian Mian. He was a great 5. I thought he was one of the best players on that Magma squad.
I did really well, but look at this mid tower. 7-8 minutes into the
Radiant's
game, they
middle
managed to
tower is
kill
under attack.
Somnus
Radiant's
twice.
middle
He's
tower
jungling,
has
still
fallen.
level 5. They used this opportunity because they pushed him out of the lane. XM was level 6,
Radiant's bottom
so they
tower
have
is under attack.
this initiation going from Astral Step and Remnant play.
Dire's top tower is under
Things are
attack.
going really well for Piggy Killer. They're gonna take another tower in this bottom lane.
Already the map
Radiant
is
structures are
just
fortified.
shrinked
Dire's top tower is under
20%,
attack.
maybe even more than that. Kind of insane. shot. Astral step and an I leave TMing dead. TMing and to go back to players in their history,
Radiant's bottom
he was one of those
tower is under
guys who
attack.
I thought was going to be a big star in the Chinese region. When he played with that original E-Home squad of Old Chicken, Old Levin, Yi,
Radiant's bottom
and all
tower
them,
has
I thought
fallen.
he was going to be a star. He played really well. He had that moment at the Bucharest Major, or Minor, I want to say. One of those leaps I still have saved on my computer, and he went absolute flyer after winning a game and playing so well. And I loved the emotion, and I thought at that moment like he was going to be the next big support.
Yes, slowed down afterwards.
Yeah, it was unfortunate because I still think that guy.
And Ming again.
Yeah, I'm getting caught out. Astral Step, there's the kill, and you see that Mercy, he's got the +2 because he finally took a point in the Glaives of Wisdom.
That's +4 already. It's
Not a
gonna
bad
start
spot
to
to be
add
in.
up. Things looking really good for Piggy Killer. Morphling, Lifelike, he is farming this top lane. Changed his item build. He was thinking about going Mass, but bought for the Copia, going into Lincoln's next, so great item, wants to protect himself against Spirit Breaker. Something about like Chinese players loving to buy
FI?
Morphling.
Wall. FI hit with the 8th Remnant and killed off. There are a lot of heroes here for the side of Piggy Killer. They'll get the kill in a frisk. Chalice trying to run, but the wait for him. The ball lightning. Now the vortex on a fly. Uh-oh, Mercy's dead. Fly might drop too.
Dire's bottom tower
He's
is under
trying to
attack.
run. He's trying to shift. Don't want to shift too much, otherwise you'll activate sticky keys.
That's still a thing. I don't know why. Why is that even like? I never actually read it. Like, what's with the sticky keys?
I don't know. I turned it off on my computer.
Should be turned off by default, but the Chalice getting a double kill, tanky enough with the Vanguard with a cold bracelet. Like, this is the item that you want to have. And speaking of the item, Lu also does have one. He's farming up. It's important that Somnus is not dying, that he's getting like some gold.
Right.
Not going to be the easiest game for him considering the start. Lowest net worth 4 at the moment. And you're also playing into Silencer, who's not level 6 yet. But definitely not an easy matchup by any means. And you also gave an extremely good start to XM, who's about to finish off his Echo Saber, an item that we see kind of being a core item nowadays on Void Spirit since the Universal Hero change.
Core item on a lot of Universal Heroes in general, right?
Yeah. One thing I like about this Azure Rays draft is the combo that they have, because later down the line you will have Aghanim Scepter on Storm, Vacuum. You can set things up with Vacuum because it goes through the Song of Sirens, so you can reposition them while they're slept. Charge, like Vacuum into Charge, is massive.
See if that combo ends up coming out. Now level 6 on Spirit Breaker and level 6 on the Pugna. Everybody
Dire's
having
top
that
tower is under
green
attack.
diamond under their portrait. I'm gonna hit that mark in 2 minutes for that next Wisdom rune. And I mean, we beat a horse to death with how many times
Dire's
we've talked about the
structures
fact
are
that Wisdom
fortified.
runes feel to be
Dire's
the most important
top tower
objectives on the
is under
map.
attack.
Pretty much. Compared to Tormentor, XP runes are just way too valuable, so you like get them early on, so it feels like they have more importance to it. Now, pushing this tier 1 tower top, Global Silence is available. I don't think they should go for tanky hero like Chalice. I want to see Piggy Killer take these fights because they feel super strong right now. Ava with Vanguard, 2 healing Lotuses should be, I would say, unkillable unless they group up on top of him with 4 heroes.
Yeah, it would be really tough. Throws the Chakram out. In a second, they'll have the other blast
Dire's
stick at the
top
tower, and they
has fallen.
do exactly that. Being kind of slowing down a little bit, and it's giving time for Somnus to recover. But they go after this vacuum wall on 3 heroes, but they've got Frisk around the side. They get the kill on the TMing. He has no set. Chalice sitting low. And the ball lightning in from Somnus. The Global Silence is used. They'll take out a second in Chalice. Charge hits Somnus. That's a morphed Firefly as a Spirit Breaker
Dire's
going in
turret
there.
has been killed.
Nobody to follow that up as
Dire's
Mercy
bottom
sits low,
tower
but he'll
is
end up
under
escaping.
attack.
There's some really good targets that Firefly can turn into in this game. One's gonna be Loop, the other's gonna be Spirit Breaker. So you have Charge, you have Batch, you have Bulldoze, getting that status resistance so you can't be slowed down. Azuri gonna use this opportunity since they use Global Silence. They're gonna go and look for kills, because with Storm Spirit Breaker, you should be able to get kills. Not sure if that's the kill that they can easily get.
And they get him. He's low. Ava timber chaining away. Artist formerly known as SRF will eventually drop here to Somnus. That's a big kill to get.
Invisibility.
Yeah, he messed up there. Should not use this Yule Scepter defensively like that, because if he gets away, Somnus jumps, he can Yule Scepter and then run away, get another Timber Chain.
They're coming
Look
up.
at the number of occult bracelets. There's 6 of them in this game. 6 heroes have this
Dire's
item.
top tower
I think it
is
says a
under
lot
attack.
about how strong this item is.
FY, XM, Invis just going across, maybe looking for Somnus. Charge actually finding Frisk, so that means that they don't have the essence of Aether Remnant Shackle Shot combo. But when you come in with a Vortex, the Aether Remnant down, Frisk is going to try and land a Shackle Shot. It doesn't connect. He has to step down, go across the bound. Somnus, they got the kill on a Frisk. Pulls up into the air, and Somnus is in trouble. He doesn't have a lot of mana to work with, but Bolt Lightning away from the wall, charge in. But the Aether Remnant lands on FY, so he can't get the charge to hit up the Timber, so they get the kill to Somnus as well as FY. And Pugna will fall too. 3 heroes down to the side of Azuri.
Are fortified.
While all this is happening, you have
Yule's
Yule
on
farming.
Timber
He's
still.
not, he's not joining any of these fights. Manta Style already done. His net worth skyrocketing, going into Orchid as his next item, which I really like. Gonna give them enough control for these like heroes like Void Spirit, who does build into Manta Style, but
Dire's
still
middle
you're gonna
tower
have
is under
like
attack.
good 2-3 minutes, depending if you will join, to be able to get those kills. FY picks up Wisdom Rune. There's still,
Yep.
Dire's middle tower has
never
fallen.
mind. They picked it up on the other side as well. But yeah, keeping this 1k gold lead steady
Radiant's
on the
top
side of
tower
Piggy
is
Killer.
under attack.
Look at the amount of intelligence stolen. Silencer. Mercy, 12 already. Kind of like this early point. Big fan of it.
It's definitely gonna
Radiant's middle
feel
tower
more
is
harsh
under
later
attack.
on, right?
Yeah, for sure. It starts to add up.
I'll take that.
So Shield Rune modeled up by XM. That's gonna give him an extra 1,000 health, basically. Because 50% of anything, 16 minutes into the game, seems very fair and
Dire's
balanced.
top tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's too high, I think.
It should
Like we
scale with
rounded it up, like they were probably thinking, you know what, 30%,
Dire's
but
top tower
50
is under
sounds
attack.
better, because this is 70, like especially on Universal Heroes, because they do buy into all these stats item, and suddenly you have a hero with 2,000 HP 20 minutes into the game, then he picks up the
Radiant's
shield
bottom
rune, and that's an
tower
extra
is under
1,000.
attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
XM kind of in this interesting spot. Staying out of blocking that camp, making sure that he can farm as much as he can. He's going into the Manta next. This is no surprise. I mean, this is just the typical Void Spirit build. The Yules is the real thing, the really big thing that's kind of put me up for a loop here on
Great in terms of dispelling things. There's like multiple things you can dispel: Decrypify, Bulldoze, Surge plus Iron Shell. They thought they're gonna use this as budget nullifier. It does give Ava slightly more mana to work with. The mana really feels always nice on Timbersaw.
Man, Wu's farming
Dire's
wildly
top tower
fast.
is under
He's
attack.
0-0-0. It means he's farm mode activated, and now they said, I said that they have like good 2-3 minute timings to kill this Void Spirit before he gets Manta Style. Morphin not the easiest one. He does have Lincoln Sphere available, but they can proc charge, initiate with Storm. There's gonna be global to counter it. But Blue feels like he wants to be slightly more active. Look for the fights.
Counter picked up by Frisk means he's going to try and be the fourth court, right?
Yeah, Yeah, we've seen it. FY when he played against Medusa, also did go for the scaling item, went for that diffusal blade. He feels like he might need it, and also you are playing into this Naga Siren, so you could be the one dealing damage. You find the real target. It's gonna be a lot of procs from Focus Fire, help deal with the illusions. It's not effective as it is if you're a core because you don't hit the timings, but still gonna feel good in the game, I would say. But if you're locked into, I don't know, some Glimmer Cape Force Staff type of situation, then you will not be able to scale.
Mid lane, XM. Nothing going on. Just fake hype. They've got 5 heroes towards the bottom end of this map for the side of Piggy Killers. The only one who's really not there right now is Blue, who's just, like you said, PvE mode, trying to farm, going for that heart. Can they fight without him? They do have a tier TP too. If they do want to end up taking this fight, they'll charge all the way through. They'll land on Crisp. They've got the Nether Strike. Nether Blast vacuum into the wall. That's on a 3. Global Silence is used a little bit late. They already got the kill on the Fly. So Fly turns into this Spirit Breaker. He charges for a moment. They did have Blue TP to this fight, but it doesn't exactly look like Piggy Killers want to go for this exchange overall.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The wall already used and expended. As Azuri really don't get much out of that.
Azuri will continue to farm up. They still don't feel too comfortable to take a fight. They're these tanky heroes, like 2-3 cores pretty much are super difficult to kill. So they're gonna farm it up. Somnus definitely needs a BKB to feel less threatened about this global silence. XM, another shield rune, and now that's 1,000. Because he does have 1,000 HP at the moment. 2,000 HP.
Just ridiculous shield rune. I really think it either should scale or give 30%. 50 is just out of control. The amount of times we've seen heroes that have this shield rune survive because they've activated it and they just don't even lose any health, or they go on the hero that has the shield rune and then they only get through the shield to realize the team's responded is insane.
And looking at the ways how to amplify his damage, XM finds Specialist Array or chooses to go for it since the token has been added to the game.
Right.
So you get extra 12 damage, you get 5 old stats, which is extra like 10.5. So that's almost 23 damage coming out from this item.
Orchid, Man's just picked up by XM. And also had that shield rune activate. Right now he's dealing with an extra 1,000 health. Live mid lane. We'll wait for him back to his side of the map. Wisdom rune picked up by Mercy. There's a wisdom room waiting on the side of his array. Almost a heart for Luke, but again, both these teams not exactly looking to skirmish yet.
What Azuri wants to do? Wow. Let him go for it. Ava here, he's super tanky.
Vortex charge, Timber Chain, no. There's a vacuum. But still, I think I feel on the Timber Chain doesn't feel likely. A bit surprising with the amount of commitment there. With the Guardian Greaves now on Chalice. We haven't really talked much about Chalice or his build at the moment. Pipe into the Guardian Greaves. Looking for the Blink Dagger next.
Pretty standard stuff, I would say. Makes it super tanky. Pipe has also been picked up by Ava. He's also holding on Dragon Scale. That's why I got dropped one more time.
They go for more. It's what they're looking for with Ava. He was up into the air, chop him down, and can they get this kill? He's got Guardian Greaves in 8 seconds, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to use it with the Aether Remnant. However, finds himself invis thanks to the Glimmer Cape, and they go to the backline, they get the kill on Ava, so they'll survive and use those Guardian Greaves. They take out Mercy, 2 heroes down to the side of Piggy Killer, and can they get anything more? Ball lightning and a couple of right clicks on a Frisk makes it a 3rd here for Azuri. They're trying very hard to get this song. They'll get the surge. Can they catch up to Fly Fight again? So Fly, he has his Lincoln's pop. That allows them to get the charge. Now they'll put that Manta. Throw those illusions over on the Lu, and I doubt that charge goes all the way through. But it will mean that FY can keep up with his team.
Blue's going ham in the previous fight. And look at his net worth skyrocketing to 17,000. Somnus was looking for something with FY.
Yeah, hoping that combo would connect a little bit earlier where he was ball lightning over to.
What Azuri needs to do is kill these supports, kill this silencer, take out Wind Ranger. They do have enough control. One jump from Storm Spirit, one silence from Naga Siren should be enough, and then they can deal with the rest. I also want to see if Naga's going to go for Butterfly or if he's going to go for Scotty as his next item. So item is very valuable, I would say, especially Scotty. Because you are playing into Morphling and Timbersaw, but if they feel like they need a little bit more damage, he's going to commit with Butterfly. Mix it up. So, okay, that's an interesting... I don't know if they can instantly kill Lu anyway, so maybe I would prefer if that has been given to Somnus, because Storm overall is probably the best Aegis carrier in the game.
Right, and I think maybe that has to do with a little bit of confidence. I think Somnus is kind of feeling himself at the moment to the point where he's like, all right, I don't need this Aegis. Might as well give it to the least experienced player on the team in Lu, or maybe the one who kind of needs that little boost of confidence to play a little bit more aggressively, right?
Could be a thing. I still don't know if they can kill this Naga Siren. You get jump, Manta style, some Glimmer Cape, 5 Guardian Greaves should do a lot long enough. And now Piggy Killer, they're in a difficult spot. I wanted to see a slightly more aggression coming out from them, considering like how good of a laning stage he had. Keep it going, keep this momentum flowing.
Can they bring this back, like, easily? Is there a specific game plan?
Any easier for them. Items are going to start to pile up, and why already does have Shadow Blade. The combo with Vacuum Chalice needs to be, I would say, very patient with his vacuums.
Right.
Eventually, Somnus, like his items. Let's see if it's going to be a Kaya Sanj into Aghanim Strike, just to have a little bit more control for the combo. To have overall more control in the team fight, because just by seeing it, you're gonna approach fight much more different on side of Piggy Killer. You can't be grouping up as much.
We'll have to see, of course, how it goes. It does feel like more so that Azur and Ray are grouping up together to try and make something happen. They've got Lu just kind of sitting at the front. Now a shield rune, or a haste rune, sorry. Picked up by Somnus.
We talk so much about shield rune.
It's just always on my
Yeah,
mind.
you see it. Whatever, it doesn't matter what it is.
Everything is shield rune if you try hard enough.
I guess the reasoning why they decided to give Aegis to Lu is because he's gonna be the one sieging. Sure, you can like siege with your illusions, but they just managed to take 2 tier 2 towers, and like this constant threat of Spirit Breaker plus Storm Spirit that you show on the lane.
I know where XM is. Global Silence is going to help him Astro step away, but can he even get out of this one? They go and pop the Guardian Greaves, so the Silence is no longer there. They'll vacuum him back. They've got themselves the ball lightning to stick with him, but the charge hits while he tries to TP, so they'll take out XM. With
Even
no
though he
XM
died,
for 50 seconds, that's a problem.
Song
on a 2. Like, they have the combination here to really make this work. Vacuum's on cooldown for another 10 seconds, but you do have the net. And the focus and the real attention is on the Holler. They take him out very quickly. They've got the Nether Strike to hit on the Frisk, and this happens right next to the tier 3 top.
Oh, the ability is like the recent change from 7.33 to net, where you can use it on the sleeping targets, is pretty busy. So you can actually set things up. You don't need Aghanim Scepter anymore for it. And now this game feels, I would say, even completely over. Piggy Killers, they can't take the fight. They're gonna lose a set of barracks, still holding the Aegis for another minute and 20 seconds. Naga Siren too difficult to kill.
In truth, I don't think you need to really back up.
Is under attack.
No, you have enough sustain. You have Guardian Greaves, Bugna, this hard regions kicking in, so you can go for another set. They lose the fight, game ends.
Yeah, I stopped reading my mind. A little TP in. Now they're playing this pretty safe, but I wonder if we're gonna fully retreat on this one. They've actually got FY going after this silence. He's all by himself. Arcane Curse. Shackle connects. He's dead. Ooh, I say that. Yeah, no, he's dead. That's +4. Now they find themselves challenged. Marcus kind of here without his team. Vacuum on 5, but okay.
Not sure if Chalice needed to die.
That was another 4 for Mercy. That's
up the gem.
Not great.
Also gave XM big items. Same goes for Fly, who just had his Aghanim Scepter picked up. So you're going to be turning most likely into Naga Siren in these next fights. As, again, you have multiple heroes that you could turn into. Naga Siren Spirit Breaker feels really nice, but not why you picked up this Aghanim Scepter. So most likely you're going to be looking to steal stats from Naga Siren. And then again, Nullifier on Void Spirit. We've seen it time and time again how much this item is able to achieve. Again, Pagna, Decrypify, Glimmer Cape, we remove Bulldoze, Surge, Iron Shell. Every single thing is pretty much dispellable.
So Shark picked up here for Pugna. How do you like it?
I would say not as much, but since Morphling wants to turn into Naga Siren, it's pretty good. Because you're going to be using Life Rain on your nether wards to deal with those illusions. So, keeping one step ahead.
Smoke here by Piggy Killer, but FY, he's already dead. Do they still fight this? Global Silence is used.
Double damage bottom.
Maybe lightning all the way through. Double damage picked up by X. They're going to back on FY. Now they go to the back, they go to the wall. That's going to be on the 4. Don't get the kill yet onto this Void Spirit. They're charging him as they've taken out Mercy, but he already used that Global Silence. That was part of the engagement to start with. Yule's up into the air, into the air for Remnant. Now they've got the Shackle Shot connecting. Get the kill there on the Chalice, and they're looking for more. FY, who just fought back, needs to be careful. They got the stun onto XM. They don't know where he is. So Blue's going to try and fight this one out. Ball Lightning over onto Fritz. They get the kill there on the Wind Ranger. And the Ball Lightning looking for more, trying to get Fly charging once again, hitting on the Morphling. Slow and Fly. Ooh, he's not going to die yet. He's going to be the one who falls to Ava. Ava falls to Lou. They're back in with the Astral Step. Aether Remnant landing on a Lou. Nullifier hits this Naga Siren, who will go into the mirror image. They know it's real for now, but they know him, and they should be able to kill him. Adaptive Strike, Decrepify, and eventually he will die.
Double buyback, both position 4s buying in this game. Let's see if they can find Tian Ming here. We see the power of this Morphling Aghanim Scepter. And also, a bit of a mistake there from FY. He didn't lock down Void Spirit immediately with ulti. Manages to get Manta Style off.
I mean, that is... wow, XM was sitting with, what, no health for so much of that fight.
See it again. Nullifier also in action. This item changes pretty much everything. There's also an item pickup that we didn't mention. We'll mention it later after this finishes. Because you can see Samus locking onto Wind Ranger with this item. That's the Revenant's Brooch. So you have Enchanted Quiver for best chance. You have Revenant's Brooch that does provide you with True Strike. So that's the hero that he wants to kill. And also gonna be extremely good against Morphling because he's high on armor. Right now sitting at 43 armor, which is 70% physical. So you want to have the magical damage. So great thinking from Somnus.
So smoke on 3. Now smoke on 5. Killer, they could bring this game back if Azuri aren't too careful with the life drain on the Ava. Shackle, Nether Strike, keeping him in the life drain. They're still going after Ava. They've got the vacuum into the wall. It slows down the FPS, and now they're going to go and try and get the kill onto Silencer. They get the takeout on Mercy. Can they take anybody else out on this one? Ava on the run. Somnus gets the kill on a Frizz. Most support's gone on the side of Piggy Killers as they don't have buyback on the Wind Ranger. They're going to take this tier 2 bottom while Roche at 40.
Guys, right, PC is going to overheat from all these illusions. Naga Siren, Darkshire, maybe if Morphling turns. into Naga Siren himself. There's going to be some extra illusions coming out from that. And this is exactly what they get to do, what we talked about. Kill these two supports off immediately, then take a fight to forward 5.
I think they'll feel comfortable fighting 3v5. Nothing much. They'll lose their tier 3 for it. You can snare the net. Bravo, the amount of health he's losing.
As soon as Lou saw this Aghanim Scepter on Morphling, he's like, well, I'm going Lincolns. I don't care about your itemization. I want to be able to protect myself. And I like the next item that I see in his quick buy. A little bit more control. This Hex, he can still upgrade his Orchid into Bloodthorn, which is going to be great against like pretty much anyone. They can lock onto a target. Timbersaw, he does have the spell mechanic of his own, but you can see Piggy Killer, they feel like the game's slipping away from them. Roshan gonna be up in 30 seconds, double damage. That's why he's pinging it out.
Somnus will bottle that up, and yeah, Roshan 30 seconds. 12,000 net worth lead, but it does feel pretty even overall, I would say. I don't think it's too one-sided at the moment.
Loaded to the gills.
Big Killers, they've done a good job of, I feel like, knowing what pressure is out, and what they have to do to keep the game close, right? Like, they're not afraid to 5-man smoke and fight when they're behind this much.
They have to. The second Roche, too important. Cheese, Aegis, and look at the base. Timber forced the TP out. It's time to go now. They saw him. They're TPing out. Morphling as well. Seems like they don't want to take this Roche fight. Roshan's going to be on the dire side now, 35 minutes in, so he's going to go through his twin gates. Blue already there, setting things up. So not too bad. Like Piggy Killers, they defended their bottom and top. Bottom and mid, top and mid, sorry. It's early for me. My brain's still not woken up properly. Still trying to contest this, but again, you're playing into Naga Siren, so
It's tough.
not gonna be as easy.
It's time to wake up. It's early. There's Dota to play. So, 13,000 net worth lead. They pick up the Aegis. They've got the cheese on Somnus. Again, the Aegis now on Lou. I think Somnus is at a point where he feels pretty unkillable, and he's been pretty much unkillable for the majority of this post-laning phase.
Kill that board does have Gem by Tian Ming, so some extra gold coming out from him. Very interactive gameplay coming out from Fagna. Follow Store Spirit, use Light Drain, and Glimmer Cave.
No way!
Yeah,
Pick up.
Oh boy, got the Wisdom Rune too. Oh no.
He just got 2 levels. He was level 20, just got it. So, a kill. Gets XP Rune, Aghanim Scepter now available. This is massive. This is the combo that we mentioned. Finally, it's there.
Is Tian Ming trying to save up the Lotuses to give to Somnus with that cheese?
Yes. He finally finds it. Great healing Lotus.
New wall, lightning, vortex now on Ava. Charging, hit the Morphling, and it really is XM trying to go to the back lines to get this kill, but Flyfly's caught out alone. They'll end up dead, so will this bottom set of racks. So Flyfly dead for 75 seconds, doesn't have buyback, charge on XM, that'll be stopped. And their attention is on to the last tier 3 and center racks as Chalice comes in with a normal punch. Aether Remnant, Global Silence, and Chalice is dead just like that. Somnus has Galeaway Vortex, they'll lock on the XM, Ball Lightning to finish him off. He doesn't have buyback either. And Frisk looking like he might be next, but they've got the Silence. Now that we've got the Arcane Curse, Somnus is pretty low, but he'll Ball Lightning away while they've got the Ensnare. The charge comes across, hits all 3 heroes. Yule's up into the air by Appa. Lou trying to do some damage here, but he doesn't really care about them. You can put some damage onto the towers, you can put some damage onto the racks. It's really up to him. He doesn't need to fight. He's gonna have no buyback. They're gonna call PG. Yeah, so Azuri will take game number 1 over the side of Piggy Killers in what was a tough laning phase, but afterwards, they really made it work.
As you can see them being more experienced, they may like living hell of Somnus. They kill his tower early on. They kill him 2 times.